Going live, going live, going live. Hold on. Testing. All right. We are going live. You are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 15-0 New York Giants will be taking on the 0-15 Carolina Panthers. Why are the Carolina Panthers 0-15? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron, everybody. Anybody at all. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with me here tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Or anybody at all watches the replay of this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. You guys absolutely freaking rock. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here, as I always try to do every night. Anybody got anything to say? Put it in the chat. I check the chat box every so often, so I try to get back to you if anybody puts anything in there at all. But, well, got some good news in the injury department. We got some bad news. Although the bad news is nothing new. But let's go with the good news first here, okay? You got here Kayvon. There's been about, I just picked this one out from CBS Sports, but there's about at least five that I saw talking about Kayvon. It says Giants first-round pick, Kayvon Thibodeau, really confident about making his NFL debut versus the Panthers. Now, if you're gonna, man, I'll tell you what, this would be a big game. Don't get me wrong, they're all big games. But the first home game of the season, there's a I don't know. There's something in the air, I think the Giant fans got their chest pumped out a little bit more than normal. First home game, this, that, and the other thing, so he makes his debut this Sunday. That would be huge. However, if somehow the Giants, it doesn't even matter if the Giants win. If he were to make it the following week, if he can, if he has to hold off, say, 8 more days, Monday night, we got the Cowgirls coming to town. Okay. That would be huge. The place would be freaking rocking, right? Cowboys are coming to town. The Dak-less Dallas Cowboys coming to town, right? That would be a huge game. But or if the Giants, were to win this one and they were 2-0, and then you got once again the Dak-less Dallas Cowboys coming to town Monday night. Holy, woo, man! That place is gonna be freaking just rocking. It's been rocking. It'll be rocking like it hasn't since 2016 or so. So, but he's very, very confident. Okay. It says it's good to be a New York Giants fan. Yes, it is. But, it's always good to be a New York Giants fan. But, going to the second game of the season, all right, this is the first time since, 2016, we actually have a win, The Giants are fresh off their season opening win over the Titans. Rookie first-round pick Kayvon Thibodeau expects to make his regular season debut Sunday against the Panthers. Thibodeau missed the opener after sustaining a sprained right MCL during the Giants' second preseason game. So we were very lucky. It was just a sprained. Thank goodness it wasn't, nothing more than that. Thibodeau was limited during Wednesday and Thursday's practice. Giants coach Brian Daboll said that his rookie linebacker took part in team drills Wednesday and was a little more involved in practice on Thursday. Thibodeau also did make some extra cardio on his own. Thibodeau says, getting close. He said on Thursday via ESPN, like I said, trying not to look too far. What is today? He said today's Thursday. We still got Friday. We got Saturday. I'm really confident in this Sunday. 5th overall pick in the draft, Thibodeau racked up 19 sacks and 35.5 tackles for loss in 31 games with the Ducks. Not too shabby. The first player in a dozen years to lead Oregon in sacks and tackles for loss in back-to-back seasons. Thibodeau was also the first Ducks defensive lineman to earn All-American honors since Colts Pro Bowl defensive tackle DeForest Buckner in 2015. And DeForest Buckner was a Well, well, DeForest Buckner was a tackle. He did doing good in the pros, but he was very good in college. But he was a tackle. Kayvon, obviously, is whatever you want to call him, edge rusher, deep, outside linebacker. Let's see. Assuming that Thibodeau plays Sunday, he will look to help the Giants defense contain a Panthers offense that is led by former All-Pro running back Christian McCaffrey. New York's defense played well in week 1, allowing just 19 first downs and 93 rushing yards on 26 carries in a 21-20 win. Now, so the 19 first downs is even more impressive when you consider that the Giants, I think it took them almost 20 minutes to get their own first down of the game. So it took them quite a while. But they were kind of keeping, the Titans, I guess, so to speak, under control so much. Hopefully the Giants were able to somewhere along the line, hopefully start getting their offense into gear, which they did, but it wasn't pretty much till the second half. Don't forget the Giants had the ball, and they of course they got down. I'm going to say just as the clock expired at the first half, around like the 40-yard line or so, the Titans, they just ran out of time. I mean, if they had another play or something, they might have gotten into field goal range, and maybe Graham could have maybe tried a field goal just before halftime, but they ran out. But Thibodeau says, we've been making great gains. Thibodeau said, ultimately, it will come down to how I feel on Friday and Saturday, but everything is going well, and I'm optimistic about it. So, he didn't want to say yes or no. Because I seen the interview. It's like a 5-minute long interview. The reporters asked him the same kind of question about 55 different ways. Trying to see if he's going to, if he's going to be playing Sunday, or how he feels and all that stuff and everything. But it's nice to see that at least Kayvon is trending in the right direction of hopefully possibly playing on Sunday. It would be great to get one of our edge rushers back. Now, don't look for, Azeez, hopefully, okay, which would be nice. If Kayvon can play maybe Sunday, then when the Dallas comes, right, on Monday night, maybe we can get Azeez in there, which would be huge for the Giants because, unless the Cowboys trade for somebody or something like that, looks like it's going to be Cooper Rush. It looks like they're riding out with Cooper Rush until Dak comes back halfway through the season. So, unfortunately, by the time Dak comes back, their season might be over with. But if we can get both edge rushers on Monday night against the Cowboys at home, man, that could be huge. That would really help turn things around for the Giants. But back to the, as I like to say, I guess I don't want to say bad news, but you kind of expected it. Let's see what we got home. D3C3P Shun. Hoping to see Kayvon out there next week. Yeah, oh yeah. Also love Wink's comments about fans being loud. Yeah, I got an article about that too. Yeah. I'm gonna go over that real fast too. Oh yeah. But we got Kadarius Toney is back on the injury report after the limited playing time in the opener. Unbelievable. It's just simply amazing. Kadarius Toney could go from 7 snaps to 0 snaps. Yep, absolutely. Giants wide receiver was limited in Thursday's practice by a hamstring injury after practicing full on Wednesday. It's absolutely unbelievable. He played only 7 snaps in week 1 over the Titans, and now his status for Sunday's home opener against the Carolina Panthers is unclear. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing how this guy cannot stay healthy at all. How he can't even walk down a hallway without, pulling a groin muscle or something. Simply amazing. Toney missed all 3 preseason games and lots of summer practices with a hamstring injury. He had an offseason knee procedure that sidelined him in the spring. It's just unbelievable, man. Absolutely unbelievable. During a 2-receiver concept in Thursday's individual drills, Toney lined up on the third and final wide receiver pairing alongside practice squad player Marcus Johnson. The first pair was Sterling Shepard and Kenny Golladay. The second pair was David Sills and Darius Slayton. Richie James and practice squad player Khalil Pimpleton manned the slot. So I look for Richie James to get out there again, which I ain't got no problem at all with that. Because you know what? It seems like Richie James actually wants to play some football. I can't say that about Kadarius Toney. Rookie Wando Robinson isn't practicing and looks like he'll miss Sunday's game too. Toney's had trouble staying on the practice and playing field since the Giants drafted him 20th overall last year. I mean, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's see. Where are we at? The Giants, let's see, the Giants injury report, okay. What we got here? Cornerback Nick McLeod did not participate on Thursday. Aaron Robinson did not participate because he just came out of the hospital with his appendectomy. Wan'Dale Robinson did not participate. John Feliciano was limited in practice. He got a lower leg injury. Not exactly sure what it is. Azeez Ojulari was limited. Safety Jason Pinnock was limited. He's got a problem with his shoulder. Kayvon Thibodeau with his knee, he was limited in practice. Okay, Dane Belton, clavicle, he was full practice. So hopefully we're going to see Dane Belton's first game. I'll be on Sunday. Excited for that. Illness. Devery Hamilton had an illness and he did not participate. And Kadarius Toney was limited in practice with a hamstring. Absolutely unfreaking believable. Now, if we look at Kadarius Toney here, all right, we look at last year. Okay, he played in week 1. He played weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, didn't play in 7, 8, 9, and he played 11, and then he played in 16. But the thing is, he played 5 snaps in the first week, 19 snaps in the second week. Then he played 46 against Atlanta. Then against New Orleans, he played 50 snaps, and then it just went all downhill after that. Then he played 37 snaps against the Cowboys, and he got thrown out of the game. And then against the Rams, he played in the first drive. He caught 3 passes in the first drive. Apparently it was 6 snaps. He caught 3 passes. Okay, graded out an 86.4 offensively. Okay, and then he missed the rest of the game because he was injured. Then let me see here. Hold on. What we got? Let's see. Carolina can't. That's 24, 11, 1, 11, 7. Okay, no. All right. So after the Raiders. All right. So against the Rams, he played the first series. Then he was out the rest of the game. He missed the following week. Okay. Let's see. You got the Rams. Who we got? Okay. Against Carolina. He totally missed Carolina's game. Came in, played 34 snaps. I mean, we're not even talking the whole game. I mean, like half the snaps. 34 snaps against Kansas City. Then he played 31 snaps against the Raiders. Okay, so he plays like half the game. Half the game. And have to see the Raiders. Okay, then we had our bye. Okay. So after we had our bye, okay, he played 35 snaps against Tampa Bay in week 11. And then the rest of the season, he played one more game, 39 snaps against the Eagles in week 16. The most snaps he had was 50 against the Saints, and that was the overtime game. I mean, he's playing like half the snaps. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, if you look here last year on where we at here, Kadarius Toney injury report. Okay, once we got to the Rams, right, he was actually going into the Ram game. He was questionable. So he played the first series and he had to come out. Couldn't play the rest of the game, right? Then he was out. Okay, against Carolina. So he didn't play against the Panthers last year. Then the following week against Kansas City, he was questionable. Then he played against the Raiders. Then we had the bye week. Okay. I guess he couldn't find, the bye week. I guess he couldn't find a way to injure himself in bye week. So he actually played against Tampa Bay. He played like half the snaps against Tampa Bay. But then against the Eagles, he was doubtful. Then against Miami, he was out. Then against the Chargers, he was out. Somehow he actually was healthy against the Cowboys. All right. Then he was questionable with an oblique. Okay. Against the Eagles. Then he was out. So he had an oblique. Okay. Against the Eagles. After the Eagle game was over, okay, he was out. He went from an oblique, then he had a shoulder problem, okay? So the last 2 weeks against Chicago and against Washington, he went from the oblique to a shoulder problem. So we got here. Against the Rams, he was questionable with an ankle. Then he was out with an ankle. Then he was questionable with an ankle. Then he was doubtful with a quad. He was out with an oblique. He was out with an oblique. He was questionable with an oblique. Then he had a shoulder and a shoulder. I mean, and then in preseason, he had his own sets of it. I think he had a hamstring. He was on COVID 2 times. He had problems with his cleats. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, how the guy, I said, can't stay healthy at all. Now, I want to see here if we can get him. Let's see what we got here. All right, so I'm looking at his. Let's see, in 2020, his last season with Florida, he played 613 snaps. He missed the first 3 weeks of the season. Okay, they played in weeks 4, 5, 6. He missed apparently 7 and 8, and then he played week 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then he played against in the playoffs. He played against the conference championship. He played against Alabama. All right, so he missed some time there. All right, 2019, he only played 93 snaps. Okay, 2018, he played in 271 snaps. So let me see here. 2019, what did he do? 2019, he played in grand total 93 snaps. He missed a bunch of games. 2018, let's see, what do we got here? 2018. No, he played a lot of games, but he didn't play many snaps. He played 29 snaps, 31 snaps, 35, 15, 10, 17, 25. So he played in a lot of games. He just didn't play a lot of snaps. So I'm not really sure what why Gettleman would maybe draft somebody that has a kind of a history of just missing time. But I mean, he was a quarterback. I know he was a quarterback in high school, and he transferred, to become a wide receiver. I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete, but look for the Giants to, maybe to step it up. I know they were trying to trade him, possibly in the offseason, because it's like a joke now. It really is. It's an absolute freaking joke. I mean, how the guy just cannot stay healthy. Unbelievable. So look for the Giants, to get rid of Kenny Golladay after this season's over with, to save money on his contract. But, just get his contract, get him out of here, because he's not – unless he really starts turning things on. But I don't see the Giants wanting to pay his salary. So try to get rid of him, get the dead cap hit next year, get him off the roster, and bring somebody in who can be more part of the system, okay, part of the solution. All right. And then look for the Giants to try to get rid of Kadarius Toney, because I don't know what it is. It's either one of two things. Either the guy doesn't want to play football, he has his money, and I'll play a little bit, then I'll pretend I'm kind of hurt, and I'll miss a game or two, and then I'll play a little bit, and So I'm not exactly sure. So it's either that or what Jimmy Johnson always said, the Cowboys coach. He said, hurt players get hurt, and that's quite possible. The thing is, I don't understand is how can a finely tuned athlete, I mean, you've seen what the guy can do with the ball in his hands. I mean, you can't tackle him. I mean, it's simply amazing. Absolutely amazing the moves he has. But, I mean, how the guy can't run a pass pattern without coming out like with a pulled hamstring or a groin problem or something with those. I mean, it's simply amazing. Absolutely simply amazing. So look for the Giants to try to get rid of him as well, too. Because, I mean, yeah, he's your best ability is your availability. Okay. And he's not available. He didn't play any preseason games. I mean, it's comical. Absolutely comical. How every week there's something wrong with the guy. I mean, even when he's over the hamstring, there'll be something else. It's absolutely unfreaking believable how the guy just cannot stay healthy. Then we got, which I want to bring up, is Wink Martindale is imploring the Giants fans to breathe fire at the MetLife Stadium. Wink Martindale wants it to be loud on Sunday. He wants Giants fans breathing fire. He wants MetLife Stadium to vibrate, right? The new team's defensive coordinator began his Thursday press conference basically pleading with the fan base to be the 12th man, which it could be. It's kind of tough over the way it's been over the past, since what, 2017, 17, 18, 19, 20, over the past 5 seasons. I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, you get up and then, and it's just kind of tough to say all excited when you wind up losing, get embarrassed. I mean, other teams come in there and beat you. It's kind of tough to stay up and get excited. But, I mean, the Giants fans can be very, very, very loud. Oh, yeah. Wink said, I've only lived here for a short period of time, but I know New Yorkers are loud, and we need to be loud in that stadium. They have to go – Carolina has to go on a silent count, he said. If you want to be part of changing this culture here with the Giants, be loud and have that place rocking where people don't want to come to our stadium. Absolutely. I mean, you go to Seattle. I mean, I know the stadium's built in a certain way to hold the noise in and all that and everything, but it's the 12th man. I mean, it's the 12th man for a reason, right? That's home field advantage. I mean, teams don't want to go play there, right? It's the same thing here. I mean, it's like, back in the 80s, man, I mean, you're going to have the fans who are yelling and screaming and all that. Not only that, but the Giants defense is going to knock the crap out of you, right? Opposing teams did not want to go there, right? Home field advantage, right? And let's see, and he said, and have that place rocking where people don't want to come to our stadium. We'll take care of the rest, and we'll give you something to be loud about. Just be loud, and I can't wait to see it. So, I don't think the Giants don't have that kind of defense. Yeah, that's going to, certainly don't have the defense from the 80s or anything like that. But, there's a new era, right? Hopefully, with Shane and Dable and Wink Martindale, hopefully, they stay around. We have the success and everything. And they can just start adding pieces. Right? What do we got? You got sexy Dexter Lawrence. Certainly can build a defense around him. Absolutely. I'm not sure what they're going to wind up doing with Adoree Jackson. Okay. If you got to pay the guy some more to hang around, may not be a bad idea. He's a very good defensive player, and he's young. Okay, former first-round pick. Okay, so might want to maybe keep him. But you got maybe Julian Love. He's not a superstar or nothing like that, but somebody somebody who can play on the defense, play multiple positions on the defense, good quality player, depth player, if nothing else. Xavier McKinney, right? You got Azeez Ojulari, right? Maybe who knows? Some guys, you got Darian Beavers. If you see him next year, maybe he might be a player you can start building around. I always said Azeez. You got Kayvon, right? I don't know what we're going to do with Leo the Lion. If we're going to, try to re-sign him longer, or we're just going to try to get out of his contract because he's a little bit. But the Giants got some pieces there. Okay, you got Micah McFadden, But, the Giants have some pieces. You got 3, 4, 5 players on defense, right? You can certainly start building with. I said, then next year, what do you do? Maybe you add somebody else. Maybe you might have to bring in a cornerback. You might have to draft a cornerback. We'll have to wait and see. Then again, if the Giants are going to need a quarterback, they might have to draft a quarterback. So if they're going to draft a cornerback, might have to be in the second round or third round or so. Or maybe you can bring a cornerback in with the free agency money that you're going to have. Okay, that wouldn't be bad. But, I mean, as I said, so next year, you add another piece or so. And after a few years, you might, obviously you have to keep re-signing your players. You got to re-sign Azeez. You got to re-sign Kayvon. Dexter Lawrence, give him a nice little contract there. Xavier McKinney, when it's his turn, pay the man. If you want to keep Adoree Jackson here, he's still young, right? Pay the man. I know it's easier said than done, but, you got to, draft the guys, bring them in, and re-sign them. Okay? But I'm saying, but if you can add one or two pieces every year, I mean, you already have 4 or 5 pieces there. Another 3 years or so, you can add another 3 or 4 pieces. Heck, you got, 8, 9, 10 players on defense that you can, right, work with, right? So it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take a few years, but, some of the pieces are there. I'll tell you what. You got a nice cornerback. You got somebody on the defensive line. Okay. You got a safety, a possible all-pro safety. Okay. And you got 2 edge rushers. It's kind of rare territory for the Giants. The Giants actually have 2 edge rushers and they got 2 offensive tackles. All right. So that's kind of rare air for the Giants. Right. But we're just talking about the defense now. Right. We have two edge rushers, right? And of course, as time goes by, you want to keep maybe adding some good quality depth to that all. But we do have, 2 edge rushers that we can certainly build a team with. So it's going to be, a couple years. But I mean, the Giants have the foundation for a decent defense, without question. All right, then we got. I want a little preview here. All right, we got the Giants and the Panthers. Okay, what do we got going on now? Giants, Panthers. All right, we got. Hey, man, headed up. We are. I think we can get to 2-0. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't want to say. Oh yeah, we got this one locked up. No, because I've seen too many of that. The Giants playing over the years. But I'm Miz. Nice to meet you, buddy. Thanks for spending a minute or two here with me. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. But I'll tell you what, we got, if you want to look at it, the first 4 games, we just won the hardest one. It was on the road against the defending first seed, number 1 seed team from the AFC from last year, of course. Okay. But the next 3 games, we got Carolina, we got the Dak-less, Prescott-less Dallas Cowboys coming on Monday night here, and then we got the Chicago Bears. Okay, so we got 3 winnable games. Not saying we're going to win them all. Okay, we might even go 1-2. Who knows? But I mean, if after 4 games, I know it would be a little disappointing, especially after winning the first game of the season, right, and beating Tennessee, right. To be 2-2 after 4 games, but I mean, we got a shot at being 2-2, if not 3-1. If you want to go stone cold crazy, we certainly have a shot at, we could be 4-0, but you got to take one game at a time. And if you start overlooking Carolina, you'll be 1-1, guaranteed. So you got to take this that's up to the coaches, the players and the coaches. They got to stay focused on Carolina, right? You start looking, oh man, we got Carolina, we beat them. We don't even need to show up, Let's start thinking about Dallas. No, you can't, you start doing that, you'll be 1-1, right? But then we got, let's see, the Giants and Carolina have had so many consecutive losing seasons that the results of an opening game can be blown out of proportion. Yep. Take Sunday's game at MetLife Stadium between the Panthers and the Giants. Coming off a 4-13 record in 2021 with Brian Daboll entering his first season as a coach, little was expected of the Giants after 5 consecutive losing seasons. Yep. Surprisingly, the Giants beat 2-time defending AFC South champion Tennessee. So for many fans, gloom and doom was replaced with hope for a miraculous turnaround in 2022. Ooh. Carolina, which has had 4 straight losing seasons, was beaten by Cleveland 26-24. It was the team's 8th straight loss in a row. And it sparked some calls for the firing of Coach Matt Rule, who is 10-24. I'll tell you what, after we beat Carolina last year, 25-3 at home, I'm like, yeah, Matt Rule's getting fired before Judge does. Nope, didn't happen. But, I mean, if Judge is gone, I mean, Matt Rule's not doing a very good job here at all. I can say. Then Sam Darnold last year, quarterback. Now they, I'm not sure if their quarterback situation is settled or answered or nothing like that. But he's on the hot seat this year, definitely on the hot seat. They started off 3-0 last year, and then they wound up going 2-12 the rest of the season. Not only 2-12, but now they're 2-13. So they've gone 2-13. They won 2 out of the last 15 games. So Matt Rule has got to be on the hot seat. I'm not sure Baker Mayfield's the answer either. So let's see. Giants safety Julian Love said the excitement in the New York metropolitan area is noticeable. People are proud to put on a Giants gear and go to work on Mondays, Love said. You feel that. But then you got to also realize it's one game of 17. So we're far from where we want to be. And we have a lot to improve. Yeah, they got a lot to improve on. Absolutely. Without question. As I said, you overlooked this game. You lost it. The NFL's got so much parity in there. You know what I mean? So much parity in there. If you overlook this game, you pretty much lost. Giants defense coordinator Wink Martindale got his unit's attention last week when he compared Titans star running back Derrick Henry to Jim Brown. Now this week, what he's doing, okay, he's comparing McCaffrey, which I don't know if he's psychologically kind of doing this stuff, but I don't know how this is possible. Nobody is Barry Sanders, but Wink Martindale said, this guy is Barry Sanders, Martindale said, of comparing McCaffrey to the Hall of Famer. No, he's not. Now, McCaffrey is outstanding receiver, good running back, good pass protector, all of that stuff. He's not Barry Sanders. Now, I don't know if Wink Martindale is trying to just do this psychologically like every week. Now, the following week, he's going to when we're playing Ezekiel Elliott on Monday night, he's going to, Zeke, he's like, he's a modern day Emmitt Smith or something. I'm not sure if he's just doing that just to butter everybody up or what, but you certainly don't want to give the other team newspaper material either. You know what I mean? So anything comes out of your mouth about the other team, you want it to be positive, right? And you don't want to get them fired up over nothing. Compliment the heck out of your opponent and then kick the living crap out of them on Sunday. Now we got Baker Mayfield had 4 passes batted down at the line of scrimmage by the Browns. I heard it was even 6. So he has a hard time getting the ball. So whenever he throws, try to keep in the pocket, but get your hands up when he throws the ball. Somebody said he had 6. Somebody said he had 3 knocked down in each half last week against the Browns. So it was either 4 or 6. So he had a bunch of passes knocked down. Daniel Jones had 1, right? But Baker Mayfield, being short, has a hard time getting the ball over the line of scrimmage sometimes because he's not that tall. All right. He said he's one of the shorter guys. So getting hands up and affecting him hopefully will help us in the game, Giants defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence said. Mayfield has had 48 passes batted down at the line of scrimmage since 2018, the most of any quarterback in the league, according to ESPN stats and information. So Mayfield said the key will be finding windows in the defense and his line preventing defenders from getting their hands up. Yep. So then we got the NFL is placing an added emphasis on defensive holding as Panthers' second-year cornerback J.C. Horn found out the hard way. The number 8 pick in the 2021 draft was called twice on the final drive. Yeah, that was, I don't know. Some of that was a little ticky-tacky. It really helped the Browns get down the field, get into field goal range. But York, their field goal kicker, was at a 57-yarder. He held a 57 or 58-yarder. Phew, what a first game that guy had. Holy cow. I'll tell you what, he kicked it. It could have been good from like another maybe 10 yards. What a shot he kicked. And it helped the Browns wind up winning 26-24. All right. Then we got the defensive holding, they're going back to Carolina. Horn, okay, who played 3 games as a rookie before a season-ending foot injury last season, had an issue with holding calls in college at South Carolina because of his physicality. The Panthers want him to stay aggressive, but are working to limit his penalties. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, when you got the other team, they got one drive, okay, it's tough to, do you want them to be physical and maybe get those holding calls, or you want to stay off them and have them complete passes? That's a tough one, But and then they got this last thing here, right? It says wide receiver Sterling Shepard is the longest tenured player on the Giants and the only one who was with the team that started 2-0 in 2016. Everything is better when you win, and I told the guys that because a lot of them weren't here when we were winning games. None of them were here when they were winning games, right? The Giants coach that year was Ben McAdoo. He's now the Panthers offensive coordinator. Yeah, he didn't seem to really dial up a really super spectacular. I mean, you got to also look at the talent. Well, I mean, they got a couple good. I mean, Robbie Anderson. I mean, was it Moore? I believe the wide receiver. They had McCaffrey. I mean, they got some talent there. They certainly got some talent. I mean, I did not really exactly. Wasn't overly thrilled with the way Ben McAdoo called the plays. I'll tell you what, they had they have 7 points going into the last quarter, I think. I mean, the first 3 quarters, it was just really nothing at all going for Carolina. They got some points late there. They had that one long pass to Robbie Anderson for the touchdown that put them up again, their 24th point. But they scored points late there. The first 3 quarters was nothing super spectacular at all. So hoping the Giants can keep that momentum going on the defense, right? Make them march down the field, maybe hold them to a field goal or so or whatever. But it's going to be very, very interesting. As I said, Giants can't overlook this. It's up to the players. It's also up to the fans to get that place freaking rocking. It's also up to the coaches to keep the guys, settled down. All right, understanding, you got to give it your all this game, because if you don't, okay, Carolina's going to wind up winning. And then at the end of the season, we're going to look back at week 2. It's like we had Carolina at home. How could we lost to Carolina by 4 points? How could we? You only got 17 games. So this one is obviously it's the most important game, right? Right now, you got to make it. This is your freaking Super Bowl, okay? Take this game as a Super Bowl. You're at home. The place is going to go freaking crazy, and go out there and become 2-0, okay? And then worry about the Cowboys. But you got to take care of business. You don't want to look back at the end of the season and say, man, we should have beat Carolina. Well, guys, it's been 38 minutes, man. I'm just talking on and on and on. So anybody at all who spent any time listening to me, or anybody spent any time at all, watching the replay of this, thank you so much. Thank you. You guys freaking rock. But as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.